Welcome to today's lesson. Today we are starting with electromagnetic waves, chapter 8. We have already discussed that stationary charges produce electric field, whereas charges in motion, that means around a current carrying conductor, a magnetic field is produced. Maxwell stated that moving charges, that means accelerated charges, they produce both electric field and magnetic field. This is the concept behind electromagnetic waves. So accelerating charges, they produce both electric field and magnetic field, which are perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. And that wave we call as electromagnetic wave. As an example of accelerating charge, let's consider an oscillating charge which oscillates in y direction. It produces a time varying electric field which propagates in the direction x. This electric field also will be oscillating in y direction. The frequency of oscillating electric field produced will be equal to the frequency of oscillation of the electric charge. Maxwell stated that a time varying electric field produces a magnetic field. So here the oscillating electric field will be producing a magnetic field. The magnetic field produced will be of oscillating nature and it will be oscillating in a direction perpendicular to the direction of oscillation of electric field, and the magnetic field will be propagating in x direction. So if the particle is oscillating in y direction, the electric field will be oscillating in y direction and the magnetic field will be oscillating in z direction, and the wave is propagating in x direction. Since the magnetic field produced is of oscillating nature, that produces an electric field. That means the oscillating magnetic field produces an electric field which is perpendicular to the direction of oscillation of magnetic field and propagates in x direction. So we can say that both the electric field and magnetic field, which are time varying, they regenerate each other. That means time varying electric field produces magnetic field and time varying magnetic field produces electric field. And both these are perpendicular to each other and the resultant electromagnetic wave propagate in a direction perpendicular to the directions of electric field and magnetic field. Figure shows an electromagnetic wave which propagates in z direction with the oscillating electric field E along x direction and magnetic field which is oscillating along y direction. Now we will discuss what will be the mathematical expression for this electromagnetic wave. To represent an electromagnetic wave mathematically, we need to write two equations. One for the oscillating electric field and the other for magnetic field which is also oscillating. So we have Ex is equal to E0 sine kz minus omega t and By is equal to B0 sine kz minus omega t. So both the equation together represents an electromagnetic wave which is propagating in z direction. And in that electromagnetic wave, electric field is in x direction and magnetic field is in y direction. These two equations show that variations in electric field and magnetic field, they are in phase because the phase terms in the two equations, they are same, kz minus omega t. For both electric field and magnetic field, they are same. So it means that the electric field and magnetic field which are time varying or which are oscillating, they are in phase. Now in the two equations we have the terms E0. E0 is the amplitude of electric field. Amplitude means maximum value. And B0 is the amplitude of magnetic field. And the constant K is the propagation constant, and K is equal to 2 pi by lambda, where lambda is the wavelength. And omega, we are familiar with, omega is called the angular frequency, and omega equal to 2 pi nu, and it is the same as 2 pi by t. Here nu is the frequency and t is the time period. Now the speed of propagation of wave is given by the expression v is equal to omega by k, which is the same as 2 pi nu divided by 2 pi by lambda. So we get nu lambda. So we have the two expressions for the speed of wave, that is omega by k and nu lambda. Now when the wave propagates through vacuum, the wave has the speed the same as the speed of light in vacuum. That means 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. That is a important fact, that light also is an electromagnetic wave. So all the electromagnetic waves, including light, when they travel through vacuum, their speed is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, which is represented by the letter C. And we know C is also equal to 1 by root mu 0 epsilon 0, where mu 0 is the permeability of free space and epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. In the two equations, the amplitudes of electric field and magnetic fields are related by the equation E0 by B0 equal to C. That means the ratio of amplitudes of electric field to the magnetic field, it is equal to C, which is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. The speed of electromagnetic wave in any medium will be given by the expression V is equal to 1 by root mu epsilon. This equation we are getting by just replacing mu 0 with mu and epsilon 0 with epsilon in this equation. In this equation, just replace mu 0 with mu and epsilon 0 with epsilon. So we have the general expression for speed of wave in any medium as V is equal to 1 by root mu epsilon. Now we can rewrite mu and epsilon from the topics which we learned in previous chapters. We know mu is equal to mu 0 mu r and epsilon is equal to epsilon 0 epsilon r, where mu r is the relative permeability and mu epsilon r is the relative permittivity of the medium which we are considering. So the equation get changed to C by root mu r epsilon r. That means V is equal to C divided by root mu r epsilon r, where mu r is the relative permeability and epsilon r is the relative permittivity. We usually say that electromagnetic wave has transverse nature. Unlike sound waves, which has longitudinal behavior, light and electromagnetic waves, they are transverse in nature. It is because of this perpendicular behavior of electric field and magnetic field. That means we know electric field and magnetic field in an electromagnetic wave are perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. It is because of this fact that we say electromagnetic wave is transverse in nature. Many optical phenomena shows that light is transverse in nature. Now we will discuss energy density of an electromagnetic wave. We know electromagnetic wave, they carry energy as they pass through space, and this energy is shared equally by electric field and magnetic field, because electromagnetic wave, it consists of electric field and magnetic field. So energy carried by the electromagnetic wave is shared equally by electric field and magnetic field. So energy density of an electromagnetic wave is the energy in unit volume of the space through which the wave travels. So energy per unit volume of the space, we call it as energy density. We have already studied that associated with an electric field, we have an energy density UE equal to half epsilon 0 E square, and the energy density of static magnetic field we have 1 by 2 mu 0 B square, where E and B are the electric field and magnetic field respectively. So the total energy density with static electric field and magnetic field, it will be the sum of the two. That means U is equal to half epsilon 0 E square plus 1 by 2 mu 0 into B square. But we know in electric field, in electromagnetic wave, both electric field and magnetic field, they vary sinusoidally in space and time. So we have to speak in terms of average energy density. So the expression, it becomes U is equal to half epsilon 0 E RMS square plus 1 by 2 mu 0 into B RMS square, where B RMS is equal to E0 by root 2 and B RMS is equal to B0 by root 2. We already discussed that E0 equal to CB0 and C square, that is C is equal to 1 by root mu 0 epsilon 0. Substituting, we can show that 1 by 4 epsilon 0 E0 square is the same as 1 by 4 mu 0 B0 square. That means energy density due to electric field is the same as energy density due to magnetic field, which means that average energy of electric field equals the average energy density of the magnetic field, which again means that energy carried by an electromagnetic wave is shared equally by both electric field and magnetic field. Therefore, the total energy density, it becomes the sum of these two. So we can represent the total energy density either in terms of ERMS or in terms of BRMS. So we have U is equal to both the expressions we have to note. In terms of electric field, we have two expression for total energy density, that is U is equal to half epsilon 0 E0 square, which is the same as epsilon 0 E RMS square. And in terms of magnetic field, we have the equation, that is U is equal to half mu 0 B0 square, which is the same as 1 by mu 0 into B RMS square. So both the equations we have to be thorough with. Now, in density of an electromagnetic wave, it means the energy crossing per unit area per unit time in a direction perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. That's what we mean by intensity, or in short, intensity is energy per unit area per unit time. So calculating, we get the expression for intensity as I is equal to half epsilon 0 E0 square C, which is the same as epsilon 0 E RMS square into C. In terms of magnetic field, the expression for intensity, it becomes 1 by 2 mu 0 B0 square C equal to 1 by mu 0 B RMS square into C. As we know, E RMS is equal to E0 by root 2 and B RMS is equal to B0 by root 2. Now, the momentum of an electromagnetic wave. An electromagnetic wave transports linear momentum as it travels through space, or in short, electromagnetic wave can carry both energy and momentum with it. If an electromagnetic wave transfers a total energy, capital letter U, to a surface in time t, then total linear momentum delivered to the surface is P is equal to capital letter U by C, where U is the total energy delivered to the surface. And this equation holds for complete absorption of energy U. Now, if the wave is totally reflected, the momentum delivered, it becomes 2u by c, because the change in momentum, it will be from p to minus p. We have studied last year in the case of reflection of a ball from the surface and all, the change in momentum, it becomes 2p. So here it becomes 2u by c. So in the case of complete absorption of energy by the surface, the change in momentum is only u by c. And for complete reflection of energy, the change in momentum, it becomes 2u by c, or the momentum delivered, it becomes 2u by c. It is an experimental fact that when an electromagnetic wave falls on a surface, it exerts pressure on the surface. That pressure, we call it as radiation pressure, or that is the same as the pressure exerted by electromagnetic wave. The pressure exerted by electromagnetic wave or the radiation pressure is given by PR is equal to I by C, where I is the intensity of electromagnetic wave. For an electromagnetic wave propagating in X direction with its electric field in Y direction and magnetic field in Z direction, the expression for electromagnetic wave can be represented as Ey is equal to E0 sine kx minus omega t. Here equations are written in vector form. So vector Ey is equal to E0 sine kx minus omega t j cap, because unit vector in the direction y is j, and Bz vector is equal to B0 sine kx minus omega t into k cap, because in z direction the unit vector is k cap. And here the direction of propagation of wave is positive x direction. So when we represent E and B in terms of vectors, there is a point to be noted that direction of propagation of an electromagnetic wave is in the direction of vector E cross vector B. So here also it is satisfied, because electric field is in y direction and magnetic field is in z direction. So when you take j cross k is I cap, that means that direction of propagation of wave is in x direction, positive x direction. With that, we wind up today's lesson. Thank you.